All right, what's up YouTube? This is John, and today we're on a drive to test some roundabouts. We're going to be going through about 3 or 4 of them, and I just want to tell you, I don't have a lot of hope with these. This new update, 10.69.2.2, has not been performing the greatest through roundabout type intersections. So we're going to go through a few of them and see what, so I can show you what I'm talking about. And the first part of the drive is just getting to the roundabout. So we're coming up on one here in, about 3 or 4 blocks will be our first one. The one thing I've noticed about driving in roundabouts is that the car gets super aggressive coming into them. So it flies up to the roundabout. I've got the speed limit set. I'll go ahead and set that back at 30 here, just to show you what I'm talking about. So it'll come right up to the roundabout at full speed. It'll enter the roundabout. If there's a car coming in, it's a little overly confident, and it doesn't have time to read the car potentially passing in front of me. So I have had a few disconnects where I've had to hit the brakes suddenly to take over and prevent potentially a collision, or at least an annoyed person in the roundabout thinking that I should have the right of way. So I don't think this one will be too bad because we are following a couple of other vehicles, and of course the car will maintain a speed set for the vehicle in front of it, and so it's not going to get too aggressive here, although we are doing the speed limit at 30 miles an hour. Coming up to this, so I do see a car in the roundabout intersection, and our car goes right through. So that was really good, but that is atypical of some of the problems that I've been seeing when I'm driving the car in roundabouts. That behaved very well through that intersection. Nice smooth entry, nice navigation through the roundabout, nice exit, no traffic hazards, no hesitation getting into the roundabout. Those are some of the issues that I've seen the car struggle with previous drives. So the new update, 10.69.2.2, has been performing very well overall. I would say it's resolved a lot of the uncomfortableness of driving with full self-driving. The car does make corners smoother, it accelerates a lot smoother, it anticipates a stop, and it decelerates a lot more like a human driver would. In fact, we're seeing an example of that right here at the stop sign. Very nice approach to the stop sign. It's got the turn signal on, which is appropriate. Truck turning in front of us, and we're going to make a right-hand turn. And that turn looked great. It was a little slower than I would have liked to see. Sometimes the car can feel a little pokey when it's driving in full self-driving, but you have to keep in mind that it is interpreting a lot of data around the area, and it's making sure that it's safe to proceed on the route. So it's not going to do anything dangerous as long as the programming recognizes that. So you do see here on the navigation a couple of roundabouts. There's one in 0.1 miles and one in 0.2 miles. Just in front of us. We're going to go through a couple of intersections here, and then we'll enter that first roundabout. We'll see how it does. So this would be one of the roundabouts I've really seen problems with, where it wants to aggressively get into the roundabout, and traffic is already in the roundabout, so it creates a situation that makes me very uncomfortable. Oftentimes I'll just take over when I'm driving into this type of intersection. All right, so here we are approaching the roundabout. We're doing 32 miles an hour. It is slowing down. Slows down appropriately. And that car is exiting. So actually that was a very good stop, very good yield. Going to give it a little accelerator here to encourage it. Just because we had another vehicle coming in from the left-hand side. So in terms of entry, that went very well. Once it was in the roundabout, or actually committed to it, it did feel very uncomfortable that it just wanted to stop and assess, when I felt like that would have been the time to go and proceed through the roundabout. We're already in the roundabout, and we had no concerns about traffic conflict at that time, but by stopping in the roundabout, it actually did create a traffic situation. So here I'm coming on the next one. So that slowdown was a little bit aggressive, and it's kind of picking its way through. Goes through and it finds it just fine. So that one went fine. The last 2 times I drove those intersections off camera, I did have to take over because of some difficulty that the vehicle had. So this is our third type of roundabout intersection. This is a little more complex because we have multiple lanes proceeding through here. So we're going to follow this Kia Rio right in front of us, enter the roundabout. It's moving its way around. Now it has to decide which lane to get into, picks the correct one, and we're on our way. So 3 good roundabouts, actually 4, I think, with the hesitation in there, but nothing really like bizarre or odd that I would want to take over during the drive and disconnect autopilot. Just one accelerator push to get it to commit through the roundabout when it has some hesitation earlier. So that's it for the roundabout intersections. We're going to continue on this drive to downtown Eau Claire. Do have just a couple more miles to go here on the drive. And I see a couple of pedestrians and a dog come up, but they're stopped. And they decide to go on the other crosswalk, so that was fine. We're approaching a yellow light, changes to red, and the car is slowing down again. Very nice slow down profile. I like how the car slows down to get to the intersection. Nothing too jerky or uncomfortable. Very much like a human driver would do. Nice, good acceleration off the green light. For some reason it wants to get in the left turn lane here. Oh, it is actually going to make a left turn. I just caught that here on the navigation, so that was good. And nice turn through that intersection. Checking out the visualization here on the screen, we do see a lot of good things marked. We've got other traffic. We have pedestrians, even dogs, as you saw in that last visualization. I've seen bicyclists, motorcyclists, parked cars, trash cans, just a bunch of information on this screen. So it's showing me that the car can see all of those objects around and interpret what those objects are. So cars are doing a pretty good job going through parked cars. I would say it's not hogging the right side too closely, where we could see a pedestrian suddenly step out in front of us or a car door pop open. I feel like it gives the car enough time to react to those situations. We're going to make a right-hand turn up here at the green light, so I do see the turn signal indication displayed here on the screen. Car will maneuver into the right turn lane. It did maneuver nicely in front of that parked car. Very good spacing and very nice turn right there. Good job. Got a couple of blocks here before we make a left-hand turn. So we're just going to stop for this red light, let some cross traffic go through. And a green light, we're proceeding through the intersection. Notice it does have this car depicted as blue, the turning car. So that shows on the screen when a car could enter your path or is entering your path, your predicted path of travel. And so it just lets you know that the car is detecting a potential traffic hazard. We did see a little phantom braking there, and one of the cars is blue, so I think it may have been pausing to see what that car did, but that car was actually going straight in their lane, so no issue at all for us. I'm going to make a left-hand turn here, so the car does get into the left turn lane. It makes this turn, nice radius in the turn, I actually like that. And again, we're going to see some blue traffic around us on the screen. And the car consistently does this. It's actually right corner, but it turns on the right turn signal to do that. So I'm not sure if it's confused that that's an intersection that needs to signal a turn at or not, but I consistently get that, as I mentioned before. And we are at the destination. A little bit of fun here in the parking lot because we are at the address and the car is actually arriving at where it is, but it doesn't know where to go once you get here. Right, here we are driving back. We're on autopilot and full self-driving 10.69.2.2 So they added another .2 at the end of the version that we're on. And we're going to make a right-hand turn here, proceed through some streets in downtown Eau Claire, stop by the University of Wisconsin Eau Claire, and then hit a few roundabouts on the way home. Traffic coming in from the left, the car is creeping forward. You do see the creep limit here on the screen. Still have more traffic coming in from the left. And after one more car, we should be ready to go. Good, so I thought the car did a great job waiting for traffic to clear. It could have been a little more aggressive, but it would have pulled out in front of another car, and I think it would have made everybody nervous in that. So I'm glad that it decided to hold and wait for the traffic to proceed through. Actually, I'm going to force it right here just to go left. I want to go through a little section that I had some trouble with before with construction. So there's a little segment where the car did want to make a left-hand turn in construction when it should have proceeded straight. So we're just going to let it reroute. Re-enable full self-driving. We do have a red light. We have a lot of traffic coming in from the left, so no joy making the right-hand turn here. I think it's good to wait. Good decision for the car to wait. I do see a pedestrian across the street and a couple next to us here waiting to make the cross. So although we do have a green light, we do have pedestrians, and we see them depicted as blue on the map. Just disconnected there because I wasn't sure if it was going to hold for that pedestrian or not, and I thought it was safer to take over. All right, and here is that construction zone that I was talking about. So the car does a nice job getting into this. We see the traffic cones on the road and some difficulty here with lane navigation. All right, although it had some confusion going through that, I would say that was successful because it did find a lane getting through the construction area and did make its way through. And that was a point right there where we had the left-hand turn attempt as we were trying to go straight previously. So the car again did a good job getting through there, although it wasn't very smooth. So coming up here at the red light, a couple blocks in front of us, we're going to make a right-hand turn. So I'm just waiting for the car to signal a lane change into the right lane. And there it is. We're going to make our transition over. Nice behind the traffic that was in front of us. Very nice spacing. And the car picked a really nice route through that. It was actually pretty smooth. Maybe just a little aggressive on the acceleration through the turn, but felt pretty smooth through that. Again, the car did have just a touch of phantom braking, but I saw that it saw the car coming in from the right as a blue vehicle, so I saw that it was detecting that as a potential traffic hazard for us. All right, good navigation through there. I'm going to take over and reroute us to our final destination. Not sure if you picked up on that little trick that I did right there, but I'll show you again. If you have nothing detected, nothing planned in for your navigation route, and you are typically going home at this time of day or going to work, if you pull down on it, it does give you that option. So there routes me to my house automatically. And as we come up here to the top of the hill, we will be going through the first roundabout intersection. So the car chooses the right lane. Both the lanes proceed directly through the roundabout, but we will have to merge into one side as we go through this. So I'm feeling some hesitation right there, but the car does pick it up and it does proceed through there, so not too bad. And immediately off that one, we're coming up to the second roundabout here. This one has a lot more traffic coming in. I could see traffic entering both directly opposite us and from the left. And everything is good there. The car does need a little accelerator because I think it was stopping to see what that white car back there is going to do, if it's going to enter the roundabout or not. And typically when the car is not smooth through the roundabout intersection, it's telegraphing to other people in the roundabout or wanting to enter that you're about to exit. And I didn't want any confusion there with other traffic wanting to enter as I was proceeding through the roundabout. All right, here again, we're at the roundabout intersection. The car is pausing, looking for traffic. It's waiting, it's waiting. I'm going to give it some accelerator right there. And I had to take over because it was totally confused. So that's an example of one of the things I mentioned earlier where the car just doesn't do a great job in all of the roundabout situations. So either it tends to enter them too aggressively, or once it's in the roundabout, it gets a little confused, especially if there's a lot of traffic in the roundabout, to know how it's going to proceed through it and exit. If anything, I would say the overcautiousness of the car is its detriment, that it wants to stop and assess when it should be just going and flowing. So here we see a cyclist on the side of the road. Car is picking that up very nicely. And we're coming up to a three-way stop. We'll be making a left turn here, and then we will enter our final roundabout intersection on this leg of the drive. Traffic coming in from the left and the right. The car does make a nice stop. No other traffic. It should be going here. And it does. Picks a nice line through that intersection, and it made the left-hand turn very nicely. As we can see up here on the navigation, we're just under a half a mile, about a third of a mile, to the next and final roundabout intersection on this drive. Okay, so I'm going to bring the car down to the speed limit, 30 miles an hour. Got a truck proceeding through the intersection from the left. The car does stop, let that truck get through, enters the roundabout, and it picks a nice line through that. So that actually was very well done. That was probably the smoothest one that we've had today. So that's all I have for this drive. I just wanted to show you a little bit of an update with Full Self-Driving 10.69.2.2 with roundabout intersections and some city street community type drives. Overall, I thought the car did very well through most of the drive, but it did struggle through several of the roundabout intersections. So I do think that there is some work that still needs to be done in those types of intersections to allow that to be truly smooth and feel much like a human-like experience driving through the roundabout intersection. That's going to wrap it up for this one. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. And we're out.
Yeah. That was a little scary.
What was scary about it?
Jerk, jerk.
Jerk, jerk, jerk.
Like that.
Ooh, look at that. So that's one thing I actually like about this version of Full Self-Driving is the other ones, like if a car cut in front of you, it would totally slam on the brakes, trying to figure out what the car is doing. And this one actually, the new update, looks at the trajectory of the car, and it kind of anticipates where the car is going to be and if it's a threat to you. Okay. So that one back there was actually, I've seen that a few times on drives where it actually will turn in front of you and the car doesn't even pause or hesitate. There's the phone guy looking on his phone. Big old diesel. Whoa, whoa, whoa.